have that much frozen stuff. Let's just tell them. Yeah.
Deep freezing, oh, just about.
My test.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm sorry we're starting late, but we're starting now. First of all, we'll have the secretary read the minutes.
You'll have to excuse my paso profundo today. Yeah, allergy season has kicked in. These are minutes from the meeting of May 22nd, 2024. The meeting was called to order at 2:05 p.m. by Vice President Warren Benedict. All current members of the resident council were present, plus approximately 40 residents. The minutes of the meeting of April 24th, 2024 were approved as read. Treasurer Diane Swing reported the beginning balance from the last meeting was corrected to $8,331 in the Employee Appreciation Fund. Donations from residents totaled $980. May totals as of May 22nd were $960 from residents. The yard sale netted $1,552, and the jar in the general store yielded $100. The new balance in the Employee Appreciation Fund is now $12,143. She also explains the resident donation procedure for new residents. There was no report from the board representative. Barbara Brown, excuse me, Barbara Brown expressed concerns that we had not received a report from this representative in several months, and was assured that the council was receiving feedback from the trustees, and any pertinent information would be passed on to the residents when deemed appropriate. Ken reported old business. The pet policy question regarding cleanliness was explained, as was the condition of the hump leading into the fourth floor terrace. Richard reported for the Budget Committee. They have reviewed the current proposals and would have a better explanation at the next meeting after the final draft has been prepared for submission to the Board of Trustees. Warren reported for the Grounds Committee. Their meeting is scheduled for May 23rd, at which time it will be suggested that their meetings be held at least 1 week prior to the council open meeting each month. He also reported that the Grounds Committee and the Garden Committee have become two separate committees. Ken reported that the Buildings Committee had not met because of scheduling issues, but that a meeting will be scheduled soon. With several items now pending for discussion. The flags at the main gate and in the South Mall have been ordered and will be replaced before Memorial Day. Don read a letter regarding a comment from the Blue Box attacking another resident, and asked that such information not be shared in the messenger in the future. She also reiterated that personal phone calls should not be made in the dining room areas. There being no further business, the meeting was adjourned at 2:27 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Ken McMillan, Secretary.
Are there any omissions? Hearing none, the minutes are approved as read. I have Diane Swing's financial report. She's off on vacation in New Orleans. The Residents Fund donations this month in the the ones that are taken out of our account automatically was $1,071. The general store jar was $108, and in the two appreciation boxes were $65. Total bank balance of $13,387.90. Last year at this time, we had $16,450. So we're short a little over $3,000. We have filled many of our vacant positions, wait a minute now, and that, vacant apartments, and it means we need to, sorry, now I can see what she is. The staffing positions. So that means we have more employees, and we will need to collect more this year in order to give them the same amount of a thank you gift as we did last year. Respectfully submitted, Diane Swing, Treasurer. Okay, yes, we are much lower. She's very concerned, and but hopefully we'll be able to make it up. It's really not. It's generous, but not that generous when you consider all they do for us. Yes, Bill.
Are the new residents being informed?
Yes, they are. But you know, sometimes they forget with all the information that gets imparted in the first 3 days, as you and I know. All right. There is no representative of the board's report because Terry felt we didn't need anybody at this meeting. There will be one for the October meeting. That will be settled with someone to replace then. Oh, the September meeting. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you. Okay, now we will hear the reports from our committee members. Orrin, we'll start with you.
All right, on the 23rd of May, the Grounds Committee met. The first thing we talked about was changing the meeting dates to better coincide with the town hall, and that was passed. And so in the future, up here, as it will now, the information I put out will be current, and this is current. Doug Alvarez, which is the facilities manager, and he's also our liaison between the facilities and the grounds committee. He informed us that a contract has been set out and to remove the thistles that have sprung up all over the campus. And I think if you've looked around, you'll see probably a whole lot of them are gone. I don't know if they all are, but they're making progress on removing the thistles. A budget request has been placed for a new pumps for the fountains. The couple of fountains that we have are not operational because the pumps are bad, and a request for money to purchase new ones has been submitted by facilities. 4 dead trees have been removed, so I guess the cats aren't going to worry about them. The 4 dead trees have gone away. There have been no new boar sightings since our last meeting, which was a month ago, and I guess the boars have in fact moved on. The bocce ball court at the, where's that place at? Event Center. Bocce ball court at the Event Center has been resurfaced, and I understand it looked really nice and is usable. I've not been up there. But if you play bocce ball and you get there, hey, enjoy. The sign at the front gate as you're leaving had a very worn out and faded sign that said "Do not enter." That sign has come down and now it says "Keep right." So that is not an eyesore anymore. Meetings are being held with contractors to redirect the water that is saturating the outdoor degree site and the road leading up to it. But for now, that road is impassable, unsafe, and don't try to go on up there. The sundial, we need a new place for it. And if you have any ideas that are both sunny and accessible by the residents, we'd like to hear about it, we being the grounds committee. Flag anybody down. For that matter, if you have anything to do with the grounds committee, suggestion-wise on how we can improve the appearance or the safety of the grounds, please bring that up to the grounds committee. And that is the extent of the report from the grounds committee. Are there any questions? Too many. We don't have a roving mic, do we? All right. If you can talk loud.
I'll go down with this one.
Well, I don't know who you're pointing at, but I have a problem with the
Hang on, wait for the mic.
okay.
Yeah, let us wait on that, please.
Want me to get up there?
Somebody's,
Yeah, the mic over. Had to make you walk a long way.
That's all right.
I have a problem with the gardeners when they come in. Is it Mondays? I don't know what they are. Drives me crazy to hear the blowers constantly out there, and I think they're just plain lazy because they blow all the crap that's out there into the garage. So our cars look like heck. I mean, I don't understand why they can't blow it out and just pick it up. But I guess people are getting lazy nowadays and they don't want to use a rake or anything. Can we talk to them about that? Because I don't know about everybody else's car, but mine is filthy. And it's because they blow stuff into the garage. I watched them right from the front that one time, but they couldn't hear me. I was hollering, but it didn't do any good.
Okay, I can't directly, at this time, address that. I would like to talk to you after the meeting and get more information and make sure I'm on the same page as you are. So if you'll talk to me at that time, I'd appreciate it. All right.
We will another one.
Which committee is responsible for the plaza here? Did you hear me?
No, try it again, please.
Okay, which committee is responsible for the flowers, the azaleas, the trees, everything that's dying over here on the plaza? Is that the grounds committee or is that landscaping?
The grounds committee is responsible for everything outside of a building.
Okay, and that would include this plaza?
Is it outside a building?
It is?
Yes, it is. Grounds committee is us.
So we're watching everything die over here for lack of any care at all, and or water for that matter. There are azaleas underneath the overhang that have just turned brown and shriveled up. The trees are losing their leaves are turning yellow. And can we get some attention to the plaza here? I mean, it should be beautiful and blooming.
Barbara, I was talking with one from facilities the other day. During the winter, they turned the irrigation system off because of the rain in the winter. They forgot to turn the irrigation system back on again. And so that's why things are kind of falling apart in the grounds right now.
Well,
And I will bring that up at the grounds committee as well and get further update on it.
do you know if they've turned the water on, Ken?
Yes.
Okay, and will anybody come over here and do the gardening that should be done? I'd get involved, but everything's gonna die anyway at this point.
Again, I'll bring this up at committee, talk to Don, and find out what the status is.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Other than that, I do have one other item to bring up that is not grounds committee, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway. For those that you know, Jim Leggett, he's been in the hospital for a week. He's on his way home. So he'll be back today. And that's all I have.
Were there any other questions? Somebody I could see? Okay. Ken, will you give your report, please?
Buildings committee did meet in June. We had several issues. One of them, there was, say,
You need your mic.
there's a facing seminar center that has been referred to as the that's been referred to the budget committee for action in the capital budget. Buildings committee does not have anything to do with seminar center because it is owned by Grand Lodge. There's a bench missing on the third floor, third floor head by the north elevator. And the reason it's missing is because somebody ran into it with a power chair and destroyed it. So, the facilities is trying to find one that's roaming around the campus looking for a home. And if they can't find one, then they'll purchase a new one for that area up there. Fortunately, when it broke, Jeff Krahulik was sitting on it, and so a resident was not injured. We're grateful for that. Now, there was an item brought up about cleanliness, with more residents coming into the facility, that housekeeping needs to be on their toes about cleanliness. There have been a lot of complaints about cobwebs in the overhead on the common areas, and that's been addressed to facilities and housekeeping, and hopefully that will be remedied soon. As far as the plants are concerned, the indoor plants that is, we still need people to let us know if the plants are not being taken care of, so that that can be addressed with facilities and housekeeping. And I believe that's all. We have another meeting coming up next week, and I'll have more information for you at the next open meeting in July.
Could we have the committee, the budget committee report, please?
Let me step in.
Right, okay.
I did leave out one item. I apologize for that on the grounds committee. This is under the heading of new business, new items, and I'll just read it. It says, the planting area between the North Mall and the driveway needs plants to warn pedestrians to turn and avoid the curb. And Don will be asking landscapers to add appropriate plants so to avoid that problem and danger to the residents.
Thank you, Orrin. All right, Richard, go ahead.
On the budget committee, there's nothing to report. We haven't had a meeting since the last one, but I'm sure that we'll have one the first of the month. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Any questions before I go back? Okay. All right. So there is no new business. Therefore, I just like to remind people about the about phones again. We're doing better, but you know, if it rings, please take it and go out. If it's just a text, that's no problem. But we don't want to hear your end of the phone call, really. And what was that? All right. Next month we'll be giving news on elections, which will take place in August and September. If there's no further business, will somebody please move the meeting be adjourned? Thank you. The meeting is adjourned.
Bob didn't say anything. He didn't have anything to say. Bob,
There's another meeting coming. Yep. There's another meeting coming right after this. There's another meeting coming. The town hall meeting. The town hall meeting will be here shortly. I just can't. Where's the fires brigade?
There is one too. I'll be glad to do it if you really don't want it, but you want to do it tomorrow, right?
Well, I have to text her first. Maybe she got somebody, I don't know.
I'll do what you two that I sent, and I give to you, and you take it.
Oh, all right, I don't mind doing it. I mean, Monday, to do the final stuff. Yeah.
Tomorrow's 27th, right?
The house is 63.
Who's that tall guy? That tall skinny guy. It's a hip hop guy.
I don't know. Could be, I don't know. He's fairly new.
I mean, you just dining Jeremy.
I don't think it's, is that Saul?
I think it's Paul Saul. He's got a beard now.
It's great.
Right.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're about a minute late. We want to start. We have lots of information to give out to you today. We're going to go ahead. I want to start with a couple of updates, okay? And then I'm going to let the team give you their updates because there's lots of updates. And as always, we're going to wait until the end for questions in case we answer the questions that you have. Okay, is that okay with everyone? Yes? Okay. As you can see, we have the monitor here. I can't see her, but Terry is joining us via Zoom. Technology, this is technology. So if she rolls her eyes, I can't see her, okay? So you guys need to tell me. You guys need to tell me because I want to. Welcome, Terry. Thank you for joining us. A couple of things. Everybody, the long-awaiting dining room. You will have things in your mailbox tomorrow morning. You will have things in your on digital signage about the grand opening, July 1st at 10:30. I called the Crows and I told them I was going to start talking so they could come and be
Right
a
on
nuisance.
time.
So July 1st at 10:30 we have the grand opening of the dining room. I just want to remind you, I'm not going to say much more of that. I'm going to leave that up to Jeremy. He has a few other things to tell you, but I want to remind you that there's some things that we were not able to get done until August, which I mentioned that last month, and I mentioned that at the fireside chat. So you will see some of our old chairs there until we get the new ones, because we received, I think we were short a few, so they're on order. We're hoping to get them this week. We might still get them, but if we don't, you know that's the reason for that we have a few of the old chairs. The panels, we told you the panels are going to be brand new, but those we had to wait till August. And also the front of the serving area is, the front is going to be very different. It's going to look a lot nicer. Right now we just put some sheetrock and paint, so that you know the broken tiles are not there anymore, but that will be also fixed. But I think you're going to be happy with what we have done. So that is what you'll get a flyer, something like this tomorrow in your mailbox, and digital signage about the grand opening. And then you'll also have a packet. We're going to have some raffles, but, and we'll talk about that, or I will let Jeremy talk about that, or else I'm going to steal his thunder. So we have that coming July 1st at 10:30, and then breakfast will be served July 1st in the auditorium, just like we're doing it now. And then lunch after the grand opening will be served in the main dining room or in the Savor dining room once we get started at 11 o'clock that day on the July 1st. Couple of other things. It has come to my attention that we are a little bit not sure how many glasses of wine we serve in the dining room. 2 glasses of wine per resident, and that doesn't mean that if Doug and I are sitting in the same table and I order my 2 glasses of wine and I ask Doug to order another one so then we can swap. That doesn't mean that. It means 2 glasses of wine per person. Please remember that we want to continue to serve wine in the dining room, but we also want to make sure that everybody follows the rules, okay? So that is that. Family barbecue. It is long time waiting. We have not had that since before COVID. Family barbecue will be July 27th here in the patio and in the auditorium from 11 to 1:30. So flyers are out, invitations have gone out to the family. Please RSVP to the social services team, Jesse or Leah, and we need to make sure we have a count because we don't want to run out of food. We want to make sure that we have a count for everyone that's going to be coming to the family barbecue. Okay. The next announcement that I have is on the messenger. I met with the resident council yesterday, and we wanted to make sure that we're doing, continue to have the messenger, continue to have our articles. The one thing that with the approval or consent or that the resident council, we met, and again, they agreed with what I brought to their attention, is the blue box will continue. You have any concerns, any things that you want to relate to us that need to be improved, or if you want to tell us how well staff is doing and so on and so forth, the blue box will continue. The blue box article will not be placed in the messenger, okay? What we will do is if Doug is a resident, sorry Doug, I'm going to pick on you. If Doug is a resident and he puts a comment inside the blue box and says, you know, the hallways are looking pretty darn bad, we need more cleaning. So then Chris will send that piece of information to Jeff and says this is coming from Doug, that you know we need to clean cleanliness on this area, whatever area. then the expectation is that Jeff is going to call Doug and say, thank you for bringing up to my attention. We will get it done tomorrow or the next day or however, whatever the situation is, but that they follow through, okay? We suggest that you put your name and your extension on the blue box comment card, because that way we can get back to you to let you know when this is going to get done, whatever the thing you want to bring forward. And that's also for staff. I spoke to the managers this morning in the managers meeting. So we will do that in-house. If there's an issue, we will take care of it with the appropriate department, and then we will make sure that that department will give feedback to the resident or the staff member that has requested something or had an opinion or a suggestion in the blue box. Okay, that's the way it's going to be handled, and that's the way we do it anyways. But the only thing that's going to change is adding everything on the message. We have completed, or most of you are part of either a focus group or a task force. We are completing the focus groups this week and then converting that into a task force. The task force and the liaisons list will be on the new board that we added on second SEDAM. It's already there with the resident committees and the liaison for the resident committee. So those lists are already up there. We're finalizing the task force list, and then we're going to add them on that bulletin board. So once we have that, Marisol is going to hang those up there so everybody is aware. You wanted transparency of who is on these task force and on these resident committees, so you can bring any concerns, suggestions to the appropriate liaisons or residents. Okay, so that's coming to be there next. Hopefully, we'll have them there next week, all completed. The last thing I have on my updates for now, see how I said that for now, is the finance meeting. Just a reminder that the finance meeting is happening July 1st. Everything is happening July 1st. So we're going to go and open and have lunch and enjoy the new dining room. And then we will come at 2 o'clock down to the auditorium with the finance group and meet them there. They have, as you know, they have the new options that you can participate in if you wish to, and they will have updates for us on that day. I suggested to, in the fireside chat, please bring your questions, any concerns that you may have. We're not going to talk individually about your money and your accounts, but any questions that you may have, bring them up. You don't have to bring them up, but the team will be there to answer any questions that you may have. And don't get specific with money amounts and all that, just whatever the situation is. But be prepared, bring your questions. We want you to make an informed decision. I think this is great for everyone that, brought to our attention because of you bringing it to our attention that, you needed to wait your Social Security, your pension comes in the first 3 days or 4 days of the month, and that's great, but if it comes in after the 10th, you have to wait until the 27th, and this would be real time for your money to go directly to your account, and then the Masonic Home will withdraw the 75% only that would come to the Masonic Home. So, but the finance team will have more information for you that day, but be prepared, bring your questions, kind of think about it as the days come so you are prepared. All right, with that said, I know I'm going fast, but I want everybody to have a chance to to give their updates. I'm going to call on Sol Silverman. He is the Director of Masonic Outreach Services, and we want him to give us his update.
I'm not tethered to anything. I can stand upright. Hey everybody, I'm Saul Silverman. I'm the Director of Masonic Assistance and Outreach. And yeah, I'm going to give you an update for Masonic Outreach Services. So our first update is that we have a new manager of Masonic Assistance who's starting today. She's actually doing her orientation right now. Her name is Risa Scott. She comes to us with a bunch of social work experience and medical, clinical, and care management. So we're really excited to have Risa join us, and we'll see her around, and hopefully I can have an opportunity to introduce her to you guys. So Masonic Assistance is the team that does the intake and application process for entry into Masonic homes and for Masonic Outreach Services, and provides information referral, so she'll be overseeing that program. For Masonic Assistance, we have about 60 combined applicants to the Masonic homes right now. 39 of those are for Masonic home in Union City. And what's cool is that of those 39, there's actually just 30 applications, which means we have about 9 couples applying right now. So that's great to see. Masonic Outreach Services is currently serving about 240 clients across Masonic Senior Outreach, Masonic Family Outreach, and Distressed Worthy Brother Fund programs. And then, as always, we're busy with Lodge Outreach out in the community. So on June 1st, we were at Eastern Star Home. We tabled an event at their home in Yorba Linda. On June 8th, we provided a Lodge Outreach or Lodge presentation at Bakersfield Temple Lodge, number 224. This next month, on July 12th, we're going to be at Prince Hall's annual communication. We'll be tabling that. Masonic Center for Youth and Families will also be there. We'll be here on July 20th for Summerfest, which Kim's going to tell you more about, I'm sure. And then this month for trainings, for our Lodge Outreach trainings, we have our Epic Lodge Outreach training on the Covina campus. That's this Saturday. And so every year we bring together all of the Southern California divisions to the campus, all our training coordinators, and we do a big meeting on the Covina campus. So that's happening this Saturday. And then we're going to host a virtual Lodge Outreach meeting for Divisions 1 and 2. That's on July 11th. And then we have an in-person meeting for Division 4, also on July 20th. So I'm going to miss Summerfest because I'll be at this for Woodbridge Lodge. So I'll be out there. Sorry, Kim. And those are my updates.
Okay, Kim, do you want to go next? Yes.
My gosh, I don't know what to say. I'm Kim Haig, Senior Director of Events, Active Living, which is formerly known as Recreation and Volunteer Services. And I'm here to give you some quick updates on some activities that are happening this week and into next week. Tomorrow, there's a social hour with the Active Living team at 2nd Adams at 3 o'clock. On Friday, right here on the patio, we'll have some live entertainment at 1:30. Saturday, June 29th, Crow Canyon Lodge is coming back to the Masonic home and doing their strawberry feed for the residents. So after you finish lunch, come on out to the patio area and we'll have strawberries and ice cream for you. On Wednesday, July 3rd, as Soledad mentioned, it's the barbecue here on the Sedan patio. On July 4th, there will be a fireworks viewing party up at the event center. I believe that the flyer sign-up sheets are going up tomorrow, so be sure that you sign up for that. This is a joint event with Acacia Creek residents, so I know that Luce has got some fun treats planned for you, and of course the opportunity to view the fireworks, both legal and illegal, that will be happening across the Bay Area. Next Tuesday, we have a Safeway shopping outing. And just a reminder, on the 5th, which is Friday, there'll be the recreation planning meeting with Luce. And this time we can be in the auditorium because we'll be up in the Savor Dining Room by then. And that event is at 1:30 on Friday. Luce has been working on some outings for July, and some of those outings include not only lunch outings, but a theater outing, an outing to the zoo, and a museum trip. Some of these outings will be limited in the number of tickets we are able to get, and there may be some limitations on whether it's an independent only outing based on the amount of walking that needs to be done or if there's a number of stairs to be climbed. All of that information will be on the sign-up sheets that will be posted at Second Sedam. Just a little teaser, so some of Trent residents, you remember when we had a variety show here at Macomb? We're working with Acacia Creek and planning a variety show for later on in the summer or the early part of the fall. So if you have any talent whatsoever, please be sure that you speak with Luke. We'll get going on that variety show. Some of the bigger events that are happening here on the campus, as Saul mentioned, he can't be in attendance at, and I'm really sad about that, is Summerfest on Saturday, July 20th. The event will be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and we're holding the event this year on the Siminoff Plaza, utilizing the Siminoff foyer space and also the Adams parking lot. Now, for those residents that have assigned parking in the Adams parking lot, we will ask you to move your vehicle for that day, and as we get closer to event day, we will provide you with information on when you need to move and where you need to move your car to. Summerfest is open to all campus residents and up to 4 guests per apartment, and all campus staff plus 4 guests. And when I say campus, that means that not only is it for the Masonic homes, but Acacia Creek residents and staff members are also invited. In addition, the local Masonic lodges and affiliated Masonic associations have been invited to attend Summerfest. And the communications team of the Grand Lodge has already sent out a number of emails, and a postcard has dropped. And right now, just not including any of our residents or staff here, we have about 120 people signed up for our campus that day. Some of the activities will include carnival games. We'll have a bounce house for kids. There's a health and wellness fair with healthcare related vendors. We have other community vendors. We have a DJ for music and entertainment. There'll be a photo booth. We'll have tours of the campus. The gift shop will be open, and of course there will be food. And the food is the lunch portion is being provided by our dining services team. We also have Kona shaved ice coming in, as well as our favorite deep fried Oreos. Reminder that Summerfest is free to everyone. However, there may be some vendors who are selling items. It's on. Is it on? Can you hear me? Sorry. Thanks, Marisol. There will be some vendors that may be selling items, so please be sure to bring some extra cash with you. And just a little bit of a heads up, I know that the plant lady over at Acacia Creek is going to have her booth here, and she's got beautiful plants, I'm told. Not that I can buy any because they'll just die. If any of our resident tour guides are available and can assist with tours on the day of Summerfest, please see me. We are going to do a modified tour of the home, so it won't take a full hour, but maybe a 20, 30-minute tour. Back in the behind you all, Jen has a sign-up sheet for Summerfest. We're putting it up earlier than we would normally put up activity sign-up sheets because we want to give folks an opportunity to make sure that they're able to come, and if they have guests that they'd like to invite, that we get that on there as well. So she's got that sign-up sheet at the back, and then we'll post it at Second Sedam. One of the other big events that's returning to our campus is Jam and Jelly Day, which will be on Saturday, August 17th. It'll be a baseball themed event, so please wear your favorite team shirt or ball cap. A sign-up sheet will go up about mid-July. Again, this is a big event for our residents here at the Masonic Home, so we want to give everyone an opportunity to sign up for that. The East Bay Past Matrons and Past Patrons Association is looking forward to sharing this day with you, the residents. Please attend if you can. This group goes the extra mile for the residents here at the home, not only by providing Jam and Jelly Day, but all the little cards that you get for all of the holidays. They want to make sure that they remember you for that. And also, they sponsor a holiday get-together in December. So show your appreciation to this group by attending the Jam and Jelly Day. It's going to be fun, and there's going to be some entertainment, so hopefully you can make it. Finally, I know it's a way off, but Mutt Strut will be held on campus at the lower lot on Saturday, September 28th. This event raises money for the students and teachers of the New Haven School District and is sponsored by the New Haven Schools Foundation. If you have the opportunity to come down to the lower lot, you won't be disappointed. There are lots of puppies, and there's fun, and there's they serve a breakfast. So just mark your calendars. There'll be more information as we get closer to that event as well. Soledad, I think that's it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kim. I'm going to go ahead and give the space to Terry, or the podium to Terry on Zoom, and see her updates and listen to her updates. Terry, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Can you guys hear her?
Yeah.
Crank it up.
I'm so sorry I'm not there. Soledad, I have not looked with my eyes once, and I promise you I will not, whether you can see them or not, because everybody in the room will make sure I don't. I'm sorry I'm not there. I had a meeting in Southern California that I just couldn't miss, and but wanted to be here with you today because I think that there's some really exciting things happening. I'm very excited about the dining room. I know you all are too, to see that reopen on July 1st. Also very excited about the opportunity for you to have a new model to manage your money that the finance department is going to be rolling out and talking with you about on Monday. I think that this is an opportunity for us to kind of create some lemonade out of the lemons. I know that everybody has been a little frustrated, and we've had some struggles in finance with collecting income and getting it to you quickly. So I think that this gives us an opportunity to kind of return all of you paid rent, paid your mortgage all your life after getting your paychecks or your retirement income. And so this allows you to kind of go back to that model in a way that gives you more control of your finances. So I think it's going to be a great option for many of you, but again, is optional. So I'm excited to hear and see more about that. I know that you have all heard by now that Chuck Major is going to be retiring in October. And so as a result of that announcement, first I'm deeply grateful for the relationship and the friendship that I've had with Chuck and the Acacia Creek team. Not only were they great hosts to me for the first 90 days while I lived on campus, but they've been great partners as we're continuing to develop opportunities to collaborate, have events together. So the boards at both Acacia Creek and Masonic Homes met and thought now was a good opportunity for us to collaborate even deeper by making me the CEO of both Acacia Creek and of Masonic Homes of California as of November the 1st. It gives us, I think, an opportunity not only to deepen our collaboration in programs, maybe it's with providers by finding, for instance, maybe it's the same elevator provider or something like that. It also gives us the opportunity to make sure that we're using our very best practices across both campuses where because it can improve the quality of services that we provide to all of you. For example, like our safety policies, consistent and applied in the best way across all campuses, Covina, the Home, and Acacia Creek. So I think it's an opportunity for us. I think it will have, frankly, little to no impact on the day-to-day at the Home. I will still be pestering all of you in the dining room on a regular basis and checking in to make sure that things are going well. I will be hiring an executive director. We're not gonna, Chuck is currently serving as the CEO and the executive director. So we're going to hire an executive director that will manage the day-to-day at Acacia Creek, just as Soledad does at the Home. So that person will be reporting to me, but will be responsible for all the moving pieces every day. So it will have very little kind of day-to-day impact on me and my availability to all of you. So I just wanted to make sure, I took a little time off last week, so I wasn't here when that announcement was made, but wanted to make sure that you knew how it would affect us as a group and kind of what our goals and dreams are in making that change. So that is all for me, and I know that Soledad has asked us to hold our questions to the end, so, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have about that. That's all for me, Soledad.
Thank you, Terry, appreciate it. Moving right along, I'm gonna ask Jeremy to come up and give us his update.
Hi everyone, Jeremy Garrett, Director of Dining Services. So I guess you guys have heard, we're going to reopen the dining room. Monday, well, let's take a step back. Tomorrow, in the auditorium, we're going to sample a couple of the new breakfast items. Chef Carlos will be in there. He's going to prepare them, let you guys sample. It's going to be a breakfast shake and a breakfast burrito. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock. You know, I know it's in between meals, but you know, come by, watch him. You know, he puts on a good show. Some of you out there have come already. You know, see him do it. It's fun. Again, tomorrow 2 o'clock, right there. Monday, the ribbon cutting. That's going to be at 10:30 in the Savor Lounge. We're not calling it the waiting area or whatever it was called before. It's the Savor Lounge. That's the entrance to right before you go into the dining room. We'll do a ribbon cutting, and for everyone who goes to the dining room to eat that day, we'll be passing out raffle tickets. We're doing 4 raffles, different parts of the community. We'll have one in Lorber, Pavilion, and Adams. So not everybody can come to the dining room, so we're going to spread it out. Each one will have their own raffle. They'll be passed out different ways. Moving on in the week, well, on Friday, we're going to have a root beer float. We're going to be passing out root beer float kits, and that's when the announcement of the raffle winners will be presented. Again, we'll have the 4th of July out here on the 3rd. And then moving on into the month, it's a busy month. We're going to have our brunch on July 14th. In the dining room, so it'll be the first one after the reopening. Talk louder? Oh, there we go, sorry. A little closer. All right, so brunch will be on July 14th, the first one after the reopening. We'll try to make it really special for you guys. On the 23rd, we're having our next food forum. And as Soledad said, some of the dining room is not complete. We're still working on, the walls. We have the green chairs that were there before, but we're trying to keep them in the corners where you're not going to notice it when you walk in. Other than that, hopefully we're, going to do, it's going to be a new menu, upgraded, a lot of new items, worked with the dining committee on some of them. Should be fun.
Thank you, Jeremy. I'm going to go ahead and just really quick on the dining room. Again, the few chairs that that are the older ones. They're very few, so don't get discouraged when you come in, but I have to tell you, and it may not mean anything, but the dining room looks really nice. I know some of you have been peeking, so it's not going to be a surprise, which I really wanted to be a wow moment, but hopefully everybody will be happy with the results. And somebody asked at Fireside Chat if there was a bar. There is no bar. Okay, it's the lounge. We call it the lounge, not the waiting area, and I think you're going to be happy with the changes that we have done. And then the dietary team has been working really hard on the new menu, and hopefully they will, the consistency will be there in everything that we all hope for. So stay tuned, and I'm going to now pass it over. One thing about, came to my attention that the barbecue for July 4th is on the 3rd. Why is it on the 3rd and not on the 4th? Remember that the 4th of July is a holiday. It's your holiday, is our holiday as well. On the 3rd, we have full staff here to manage everything because, as you know, that it gets very full in the patio, and sometimes the dietary team may need some assistance, and if there's any emergencies or just to help out, we're all here. On the 4th, it's very little amount of staff, not that we don't have staff. We have assisted living, we have the dietary team, but if you need any more assistance, if there's more needed, we are here, and on the 4th, we are not. Please understand that we try to do our best to get the team here, but we also wanted to celebrate, not just with the residents, but again, we're one big family to be able to celebrate with staff and with residents, and that's why we changed it to July 3rd. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure I clarified that. And then I'll talk a little bit about pets and goats at the end. I'm leaving that one at the end, but I'm going to go ahead and let Doug give his update, and then Joseph. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Soledad. Hi, everyone. Doug Alvarez, Director of Facility Services. I've got a few updates. With all of this great news you've gotten today and exciting things coming up, mine is just some few maintenance items, so not quite as exciting. Sorry about that. As some of you have seen, our window cleaners have been going around the campus this week, getting the windows clean for the holidays coming up and the opening of the new dining room. So we were excited that we were able to coordinate all that to happen and get done in time. We are going around the entire campus focusing and emphasizing on upgrading the campus grounds, putting in new plants. We've got a few on the patio there that are brand new that we put in. Our contractors have also been going around working on the irrigation systems and doing some upgrades and a lot of repairs. It's not done yet. We do this in phases. The next phase is to go back and re-audit what we've done and as we continue to make improvements throughout the rest of the summer here and be prepared for the winter rains and take advantage of that to get our greenery on the property looking good. We are still going through and utilizing this summer as well to do some safety work on their trees, topping trees, removing trees. So we have an arborist that we work with, and they go through the campus and they do an audit and try to make recommendations of what we should remove or trim. And so we're going through that as well this summer. So we're pretty excited about it. We're getting ready to work on our budgets for next year. So we've been very focused on looking at projects that we need to prepare for to improve operations and enhancements to the campus. So we're moving forward with that and anxious to get that going as well. That's kind of all that I have for everyone today. So thank you, and I'm gonna turn it back over to Soledad.
Thank you, Doug. I'm going to go ahead and now give the mic over to Joseph to give us an update.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joseph Pritchard, Chief Operating Officer for the Masonic Homes. Today, I just flew in from Covina, and I was going to make a joke about my arms being tired, but none of you are going to laugh at it, so I'm not going to do it.
Terry rolled her eyes.
Oh, no. I did, I was there visiting the new skilled nursing. A lot of the residents there have been asking about, because they hear some of the changes that are happening on the Union City campus, and they're not as up to date as you all are, and some of them just saw pictures of this new patio and how it was set up, and so I realized that there's a lot of communication that could go back and forth between the two campuses, and we're trying to figure out a way to make that happen. So I will say they are excited to have a skilled nursing there that's slowly opening, and hopefully they get a chance to visit this campus during annual communications. It's one of the things that they've been asking for. I was asked to give a few updates. I wanted to start with, I had the opportunity to meet with 8 or 9 residents to go over the, we call it the Mission and Vision Focus Group. If you remember during the survey, one of the items that we did not score as highly as we wanted to was the question, is the organization fulfilling the mission statement? And that was the only question, and we scored around a 3.6, 3.7 out of 5, which, in my opinion, and I hope you all share it, because we live and work at the Masonic Homes, and the mission is core, it's central to what we do here, that kind of score is unacceptable. So when we brought the residents together, they mentioned the focus group wasn't to solve anything really. It was to allow for brainstorming on what the true issue is. Because the only question on the survey was, are we meeting the mission? And that does not give enough clarity to say what's missing. There was some ideas on education when it came to the mission statement. I asked residents if they even knew what the mission statement was. Does anybody here know the mission statement? Any of the words in the mission statement? Okay, Jeannie knows it. I just told it to you, that's Jeannie. Well, I think that was one of the things we noticed, that the mission statement was not well circulated. People didn't understand it, both residents and staff. There was discussion about tenets of Freemasonry. There was discussion about expansion of eligibility. There was also and I think this is what kind of hit the mark for me the most, was one of the residents talked about there was a feeling of family when people would come on campus, whether it was new residents, new staff. And during the pandemic, we sort of said, okay, we're going to not do as much because we want to keep everybody safe. And that led to a deterioration of that feeling of, I'm coming here to live in a home with my brothers and sisters. And we want to get back to that. And there have been some suggestions on how to address that. So I'm looking forward to the formation of the task force that will help address those problems so we can get back to what we're hoping to see is restoration and return to the mission of the Masonic Homes. I wanted to give a quick update on the wellness clinic. Yes, that was critical. So I think many of you participated in, we had 3 or 4 discussions on the wellness clinic. Do you all remember this and those discussions? And the question was, what is the utilization rate? What are we hoping to get from the clinic? And after those 4 meetings, I had multiple residents come up to me and talk about their experience and what they believe is critical here at the home. And one of the big concerns was, if we do reduce the hours in the clinic, how can we be assured that services will still be provided, whether it's emergency services, access to Whitney and her, amazing clinical skills, what could happen there? So in speaking with Whitney and the Washington team and our team here, the clinical team, we've had multiple discussions about if we were to, because right now it's 4 10-hour days. If you all agree with me, it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday that Whitney's available. And she's here for around 10 hours. I think she sees residents for 8.5 hours, and then she spends an hour, hour and a half finishing up her documentation. Questions in a little bit, I promise. The next, so what Washington has attempted to do is look at how many visits Whitney's getting on a daily basis. And right now, they believe that we proposed changing it to 20 hours, 30 hours, instead of the full 40. And they've agreed that 30 hours should suffice to meet the needs of this campus. However, one of the biggest concerns we had was we don't want to lose access to Whitney if necessary. For example, if she's not here on a particular day and we need advice from a nurse practitioner, how can we get access, whether it's the resident or the staff? So they've come up with a hybrid plan. So the plan that will be enacted on July 11th is Whitney will be here Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. On Thursday, she will work on an off-site clinic. However, residents and staff will be able to schedule telehealth or virtual appointments with Whitney. When I talked about this with some of the staff members and a few residents, the first question they asked is this permanent? And I told them right now, I hope it's not. Our goal is to figure out why on this campus we're not getting as many visits as we initially hoped for at the clinic. Washington believes it's because this campus is healthier than other senior communities. Because if you look at other senior communities of our size, they do sustain enough visits to the clinic to maintain a nurse practitioner there for 40 hours. Right now, we do not. And I'm not going to ask you to go to the clinic when you don't need to. That doesn't make any sense. But I also do believe that perhaps with the opportunities to have some of the residents from Acacia Creek or the Pavilion visit the clinic, we will start to see more residents going to the Saddam Clinic. And I'm hoping that as soon as we see that uptick in visits to the clinic, Whitney can be brought back for the full 40 hours on premises. When that happens, Washington and Whitney have assured me that she can be reassigned here full time. And if you have a chance to speak with Whitney, she wants to be here full time. She enjoys working with you all. It has been a very important part of her career. It's a place where she believes she can spend the next and last steps in her career is to be here at the home. I know that the blood draws are currently scheduled for Tuesday and Thursday, is that correct? So if Whitney's not here on Thursday, Annalisa's not able to do draws. So more than likely, we will move the draws to a different day. I believe we decided on Friday, but if there's any issues with it being on Friday, we can choose another day. Tuesday will remain the same. So for now, blood draws will happen on Tuesday and Friday. I know we normally reserve questions for later, but do you mind if I field some right now, some of them? Thank you. Yes.
I think it's very important.
I'll repeat the question. Okay, go ahead. I'll just repeat it.
I've really enjoyed working with Whitney. I've also enjoyed working with Dr. Anna Durai. But I found out that Whitney can be your PCP. And her being here even 3 days a week versus every other Wednesday is more convenient for me. And it may be more convenient for other people. And if more people utilize her as PCP, that might also help the clinic. So I just want everybody to know that she is available. She listens, she responds, she takes her time. You're not rushed. You can talk about more than one subject, and you can do that 3 times a week, as opposed to every other week.
Yeah. So
And she prescribes meds.
yes.
So it's a full deal, and because Anna Dry is still head of medicine on campus, she can still be a resource. I think for someone like me, who can have different problems on a day and want to see them when the problem arises, I have a better chance doing that with Whitney than I do with Dr. Anna Durant, whom I respect and have enjoyed working with for 8 years. But this is just better for me.
Yeah. So officially, no staff can recommend you. You can give influence on your decision for a primary care provider, whether it's Whitney, Dr. A, or any other doctor that you feel comfortable working with. The option of having Whitney serve as your primary care provider is something relatively new. I'm glad you brought it up because that is something that if residents are interested in, we can provide education on. It is a decision you usually make when you come into the home for the first time, especially if you're not from the area. We give options for different primary care physicians or practitioners for you to partner with for your health care. But that decision is not set in stone. You can change that decision whenever you want, depending upon your needs, or if you've met another practitioner or physician that you'd like to work with. So that is an option that's available to you at any time, not just with Whitney, but with any physician in the area. And I say in the area because if you do choose someone in Washington or Texas or Oregon, it's challenging for us to get you there. So ideally, your physician is close by. But thank you for that. If there are any other questions on those 2 items, feel free to ask them at the end or get in touch with me and I'll hopefully provide some clarity. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Joseph. A couple of things, and I know this one I did address it on the day that we met for fireside chat. Everybody was up in a roar about the goats that had been eaten by the mountain lion. And I know some of you didn't come to the fireside chat, and I just want to let you know, yes, that was true. We did, the herder was able to then take care of the dead goats. With that said, the goats are here, but they're going to be leaving at the end of the week, I believe. Yes, at the end of the week they will be leaving, and they look so nice up in the hills. And you know they're here because of the fire prevention. So hopefully we'll get them back again next year. And I wanted to address the policy, the pet policy that we have. I know there's been a lot of concerns from residents who don't have pets and some concerns of residents who do have pets. So one of the things that I just need to make it very clear that if you want to have a pet, you need to bring that up to our attention right away because we need to determine whether you can possibly take care of the animal. We know how important it is for those animal lovers to have a pet, to have an animal with you, but we also know how important it is that the animal is well cared for. Not that you are not going to take care of the animal, but because, you know, as we age, sometimes it is more difficult. I have a dog at home, and sometimes it's very difficult for me to take care of it. But I have somebody at home that I can say, take care of the dog, because when the dog needs caring, I make sure I tell my son, that's your dog, not mine. But when I really want the dog, it's my dog, not his. So we just want to make sure that if you want to have a pet, if you see, first of all, if you see residents that are moving in with pets, that's because they've already went through the policy, they've already come in, we've vetted the fact that the resident is able physically to take care of the animal, okay? Pets require a lot of care. They require to come out, and they will require a lot of care. Sometimes we may not be very mobile to bring the dog out, or if we have a cat, we still have to change the litter. We have a lot of things that need to happen. The other thing which we had in the past that with a new policy is if you want to have an animal, you have to be the only person that takes care of that animal. We don't want to see the neighbors taking care of the cat because you went on vacation. You go on vacation, you take your animal with you. That is one of the responsibilities that we need to make sure that, I want to make sure that you understand, in order for the pets to be well cared for, we need to be able to take care of them, and also we need to be conscientious of the fact that the animals need some caretaking. And sometimes we decide, oh, I just want to keep this animal here because it serves my purpose, I feel better, I'm not so lonely, I have a cat or a dog. But how is the cat or the dog if they're not going out to, if you don't walk your dog outside, if they're not getting the nutrition that they need, they have to be taken to the vet. All those things comes with the with having a pet. I just wanted to bring that up because I've heard that, oh, I'm going to get a pet. I'm going to get a pet, which we need to, first of all, you need to come to either social services or myself and say, this is what I'm thinking. Then we have to go with the clinical team and say, let's look at Soledad's chart and make sure that she is able to take care of this animal. Because if I'm living in an apartment and I have nursing staff coming over to take care of my needs during the day or even in the evening, my mobility is very difficult now for me to get around. Now, I may have other issues happening, and then I want to get a 20-pound dog. That's probably not going to happen. We need to make sure that we get all, everything together from the clinical team, that we all agree that you can safely take care of an animal. So those are the things that I have left on my my agenda here. If anyone has any questions on any of the things that we brought up, please raise your hand, and Rancho, you have the microphone. There's hands up there.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to say thank you to Jeremy for the ability to put two small table for condiments in the dining hall. Now we can use mustard, ketchup, and other condiments, in also Tabasco. The other one is that I would like to thank him. I had 5 guests yesterday, and they will serve. I also brought a couple of items also. On April 13, it was Saturday morning breakfast. On the line they put few bacon, and I don't think they were cooked. So what I did, they gave me 3 bacon, and I saved that. I put it in a small plate, over there with napkins, and after breakfast, I didn't eat it. So I went to the front desk and called for the duty manager. It so happened that duty manager was Cynthia Cruz, and she came to the lounge by the front desk, and I showed it to her. I told her, I asked one of the residents in the dining hall, and he said, this is not Coke. So I said, what's your opinion to that? And she said, this raw. So she took a picture of it, and I gave that bacon to her. I don't know what happened after that. So would you eat a half-cooked bacon, Jeremy?
No, I wouldn't.
I won't.
Yeah.
I won't either.
And I wouldn't want you to either.
And when we cook did that, and you can talk to Cynthia Cruz about it. She took a picture of it, and I gave her the bacon also.
Okay, I'll reach out to Chef about that.
I got one more. Last month when Soledad make a chat over here, remember that I told you there was Tuesday afternoon dinner. I understand that while we eating, there should be 4 servers and 1 person supposed to be putting meat from the pan to the plate, not one of the 4 servers. During that time, between 5:30 to 5:35, there were no Morrison guy in the dining hall. I told you about that one.
Yes, you did.
So I went, Bill had been raising his hand for 7 minutes. So I waited another 3 minutes. So there was no Morrison guy in the dining room for 10 minutes.
And Rudy, I brought that up to the dining team, so we did bring that up to them. Because you did tell me and I did bring it up to them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I want to ask a question about the dogs. It concerns me, are the people allowed to take the dogs into, I know not the dining room, but other rooms such as the nudie shop?
If it's a service dog, yes. If it's a service dog, yes, they're allowed to go. But if it's just a pet, if you don't want them in there, you can say, no pets allowed in there unless it's a service dog. You have that right to do that.
I don't work there anymore really, but,
Yeah.
and we had one time an incident where there was 2 dogs and they were little ones and they just were trying so hard to go at each other. And it was very frightening for everybody. It's so dangerous if somebody starts to back up or trips over a leash or
Yeah.
something
So,
like that.
so Kim can address that because she oversees the new to you shop, and I don't know if that's happening now.
So Dolores, thank you for bringing that up, and I think what we'll do is we'll establish a policy that if it's a service dog, they can be in the new to you shop, and the gift shop, and the ice cream parlor if they're a service dog, and we'll limit it to 1 dog in the area at a time. If they're emotional support dogs or they're just pets, then no, they shouldn't be in the new to you shop or the gift shop, and definitely not in the ice cream parlor. So anywhere where there's food, the non-service dogs will not be allowed.
Thank you.
This question's for Doug. A few days ago, there was a water pressure issue in the main building over here, and there was comment made at the resident council about some type of flooding up at the outdoor degree site. Are these things connected, or what's going on with all that?
No, they're not at all. The flooding at the degree site was due to last winter's storm, not this past winter, but 23, where we had a lot of damage. We had runoff into Mission Boulevard, but the 2 are not related at all.
And water pressure?
The water pressure, they had to make some adjustments. We had a leak, and that's been resolved.
Thank you.
I have two concerns. One about the pets, and maybe this will be the last thing that's said, but of course, when I see somebody come in with a pet, with an animal, I'm concerned that the pet be well cared for and that everybody's happy. My primary concern, though, is this dog going to keep me awake all night long with barking? And is this dog going to bite me?
So that's what we have those concerns, but most of the dogs that are coming in, obviously, we can't guarantee, right? But if we have a barking dog, then you need to let us know. And then the residents know, and in the policy it says if we have a yapper, we will need to address that. And biting dogs, if anyone, just as so much any of the animals come at anyone, hopefully there won't be any biting, and we haven't had any biting, and we've had pets in the past or animals in the past. So we definitely will keep an eye on that, and if that's the case, then we will ask the owner to make other arrangements.
Is it not part of the policy that the animals be trained?
Yes, yes. But
Okay, that's what I wanted to
that's,
know.
yes, absolutely, yeah.
And another thing, completely different, we're still seeing people wiping their noses and actually blowing their noses on the cloth napkins in the dining room. And isn't there any way to, we're going to be sending out memos and flyers for all these other things that are happening. Maybe we need to do one more, please, do not use cloth napkins.
And I can do another memo, again, Marty, I will be more than happy to do another memo on that, on people blowing their nose on the cloth napkins, but as I told you before, I'm a firm believer, who are we? We're adults, right? We may be seniors, but we're still adults, and we still need to remember that that's something that shouldn't be happening in the dining room, and I shouldn't be sending out a memo saying, please don't blow your nose in the cloth napkin, but if I need to, then I will.
There are paper napkins
There are
available.
paper napkins, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Marty.
Hi, I'd like to address Doug. I believe that it was a Sunday that I'd been in my chair and stuff, and then my nurse went to put me in the shower, and the floor was totally wet. And we do not know where it came from or anything. I didn't think the toilet overflowed because there was no stuff on the floor, but the floor was totally wet.
Is it wet now, Linda?
No.
No?
Not
Okay.
now, but everything was wet.
Okay, so if you encounter that problem again, call the front desk right away and we'll send somebody up there to look.
They did,
Okay,
but nobody showed up.
and that was a Sunday?
I believe it was.
Yes, a Sunday? Okay, we'll look into that.
I've got two questions. One of them is for Saul. When we first came in, which was 8 years ago, we applied through Soledad. And then, of course, it changed and so forth. And now I'm hearing that, and I'm wondering, I just want this clarified, does everybody who applies to the home, do they do it through the Masonic Outreach? Okay,
Yes,
and that's the official.
Masonic assistance, that's where they call, and that, anyone calls
Okay.
there, and then they will then determine, does this person wants to be going through the admissions process, or maybe it's MOS, maybe it's something else, and that's the core telephone. Yes, things have changed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Question number 2.
Yes.
Well, I've got you. This is for Doug, and this is my own particular beef, is that we have a lot of public activities coming up this summer. And this area is going to be used quite a bit, and it looks like a desert. There are dead plants, dead bushes, the trees are dying because we haven't had water and so.
Some flock, as he said, there's some maintenance that needs to be done, and they're taking care of it. And I know back here, I saw Marty, we know you talked about that area over there. So Doug and I actually did a walkthrough, 2 weeks ago, last week, yeah. Right after Fireside Chat, we did a walkthrough over here to make sure, and yes, we found out there were some issues with the irrigation, but we're on it, and hopefully within the time that we have these events, we would be looking a little bit better.
Okay, again, it's going to take time for things to catch up.
Absolutely.
One of the things I wanted to say thank you for is the dead Ficus benjaminus trees are off of the terrace
Yes.
there. And he's put in crepe myrtle trees. So those will thrive, I think, in that thing, and they'll be flowering. It should be lovely.
I have a question about our dining. On our first day, we know that we're going to be doing something, and we don't go back, or we go to the dining room to dine at 11:15. Have you arranged a different seating pattern for people in power chairs and people in walkers, so that there isn't so much of a bogged down, a line for people to sit down? We used to have it that the power chairs would go in first, and I always thought that was a good idea. I was hoping that it would be brought back.
We actually are, because it never went away. What happened is that we've always said power chairs go in first 15 minutes. The problem that's happening is other people don't adhere to that. Power chairs are there, and I've seen it, they're right there, and as soon as they open the dining room, a lot of other residents who are mobile walk right past the power chair. So that's another thing that I think it's a reminder, like the cloth napkins in the dining room, to remind people, people who have power chairs have to go in 15 minutes, and that's a safety issue. And I know things have been really tight in the auditorium, because obviously it's a lot smaller than up there, but I'm hoping that we all adhere to that, and that has not. We have open seating, and power chairs can come in at 12, as long as if we have people already sitting, or we just have to be careful. But it was much easier when we had two seatings, because you either come in at the earlier or the later. But now that it's open seating, if you want to, the power chairs can come in 15 minutes before 11. That would be great.
And who made the decision about not having the separate seating, not having two seating?
That decision was made right after COVID. That decision was made a long time ago, because again, a lot of the residents wanted to be able to come in whenever, and it's because of the site. And now that we have more residents, I think it's been working well. We just, you can come in if you want to come in at, like we used to have at one time or another. You can make that happen. People come in at all kinds of times. It's hard enough to, at least that's what I heard from other residents. You move into a community where we have to tell you what time is breakfast, what time is lunch, what time is dinner. You come from your own home. At least if we give you a time frame, you can make that choice to come in whenever you're ready.
All right, thank you.
Hi, Soledad. Hopefully two quick questions. One, Saul stated that we have 30 new rooms to be occupied. How many rooms does that leave open in Head, Adams, and Wallenberg?
You can come and see me, and I have the breakdown. I don't have it with me right now, but I can show you the breakdown if you like.
And the second one, you passed around a flyer that had this Savor and everybody's been referring to it, is how did we get that name? And can we get a better name?
The name has been chosen before we had a committee of residents, and that name was chosen at that time that the Saver would be the one for the dining room. So we did have a committee of residents, and you're talking when we first started talking about the renovation. So it has been brought to that committee that worked on it. It didn't come from me because I wouldn't remember. But it did, we did include the residents.
Can I pick up the phone, going back to pet policy, can I pick up the phone and call a resident that has a dog, been keeping wonderful care of it and all? Can I call that resident and say, I used to have a dog and I really need a doggy fix, and can I take your dog for a walk maybe sometime next week, just because I'd like to? Can I do that?
That would be up to the resident. If the resident says yes, then that's fine. I just don't want it to, I have a dog and I can't take care of it, Oren, can you walk my dog? That's what I don't want to see.
But I can call up somebody and ask them.
Yes, you can call somebody and ask them, and if they want to let you borrow the doggy, absolutely.
That's a wonderful.
Those of us who have power, those of us who have power chairs are told by the medical people we cannot go in until a certain time.
Because you take certain medication and you can't, and that's fine. You can go in anytime you want to. It doesn't have to be at 10:45. You take your medicine whenever you need to take it and then go to the dining room. What we want to see, Wilma, is at the opening time of the dining room, when it opens at 11, we have a lot of people there and we have power chairs, and that's an accident waiting to happen. If you walk in at 11:30 because you had to take your medication first, that's fine.
I can't walk.
I know.
I have a question for Doug. Doug, in the morning, I'm an early riser. One day I have hot water. The next 3 days, I have to run the faucet for quite a while because it's cold. Why is that?
I'll have to check in with my maintenance team and get an answer for you.
It just seems like we're wasting a lot of water somehow or another.
That should not be happening because the boilers are on. We have 2 boilers. It shouldn't be an issue. So I'll check into that for you.
I just wondered, instead of having material napkins, why don't we have a good quality paper napkins that can just be picked up and thrown away? Then we wouldn't have this problem.
Very true, but that all depends. We have to get, see how many people, how many residents would agree to that. But we do have paper napkins that people can use if they choose to, yeah. Cecil has it.
So with that, I wonder, as I sit patiently waiting for my, always available to come out of the kitchen, as I sit over there and watch many people with walkers struggle to come in and out of those doors right over there. And I was wondering, how come it's taken so long, and I also understand that this is an old issue, why there are those doors over there don't open automatically. Are there even.
Okay, that they're
I
not
sit
automatic?
there patiently waiting for my order to come, and watch so many folks struggle with walkers getting in and out of that access.
Of that area over there? Yes. Yeah, there's another door, Cecil, that is automatic if you just go a little bit further.
I was told that too, that they'll tell you, well, just walk farther. They told another resident that there's a door that opens automatically there, you just have to walk farther around the corner.
Yes, so we don't have, we just put those, automatic, those took a couple of years to get through the budget. We did not bring those up, but I think right now people are struggling more because we're dining in the dining room, in the auditorium. Once we go up to the dining room, that may change. I know that there's been a struggle lately.
Fortunate that the safety issue is ignored.
Okay, no, well, let me see if we can visit that for, budgetary reasons. We could put it on the capital budget and see what happens. But thank you for bringing that up to our attention. And thank you for patiently waiting.
I have a power chair,
I can hear.
and I find there's just as many problems in the dining room with people with walkers. The walkers are all over the place. It isn't just the power chairs. So I think the walkers should be, something should be done about it if it's gonna be doing something about the power chairs. Because getting around, walkers are all over the place, much more than the power chairs.
Thank you, Muriel. We will have to look into that. Now, I have to be very careful because we don't want to make the dining room, we don't want to make the dining room only for people who are ambulatory, meaning no walkers, no power chairs. That's not what we want to do. We want to be able to do it and do it in a safely manner. We want the power chairs to come in a little early, and maybe we will have to think, we will put our heads together and maybe ask for your opinion of what you think we should do. Because it's not, we can sit up here and think about it. You guys are the ones in the dining room, and we want to make sure that we do the right thing. We don't want to tell people, hey, you guys have power chairs over there, walkers over there. We need to be able to do this safely, but we also need to, I think we all want to be able to be in the same dining room.
Just a second.
How do they always have to be sick? Everybody it just seems like, why is there a problem? Just anything, just a few minutes. So why do people have to complain about either the power chairs or the walkers?
No, I don't think there's complaining. We just want to make sure that everybody is safe. We just want to make sure that everyone is safe. It's not about the power chairs and the walkers. We just want to make, but we'll put our heads together and see what we can come up with.
This is for Doug. Doug, do you happen to know when the memo will come out, giving us a little bit more enlightenment on when the windows are going to be washed? Like when their schedule is, are they going to be on the second, on south and north and?
Our plan is to wait till the rains end every year, around Mayish. We're gonna start doing it around that time. It's a little later this year because they wanna make sure we're not getting any rains. But I think by May, we can start scheduling on a regular basis every year.
Today we're going in July.
Oh,
This is May, June, July.
the exterior windows? Yes, they're almost done.
We haven't seen them in the south at all. I haven't seen them any place in the inside.
Today, they were doing the north windows.
Okay, it would have been nice for the people in the north to have known that. When are they gonna be south?
Oh, you mean a weekly schedule?
Well, just now. So I know what I can get off my windowsill, so that there's not much for them to do when they come in.
And you're right.
And that I'm dressed when they wanna come.
Yes. So, and yes, you're right, Susie. We used to send out a memo that says, on this day, from this day to this day, we're gonna be in the south. From this day to this day, we're gonna be in the north. And I think that's what Susie is saying, that they did not receive a memo. So we need to, get that out. Thank you.
Communication. Back to the
chairs in the dining room, wherever the dining room is. What came to my mind immediately was some kind of valet service. You walk in with your walker, you sit down, and somebody takes your walker and parks it somewhere. When you're ready to go back, you raise your hand and bring you your walker.
That's a great idea. Let's see what we can come up with. Marty, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up.
No.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ranchu, and have a good rest of your day. Thank you very much.
Justin, you did good.
Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome. Bunch of crotchety folks.
You're getting up there.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be crotchety.
No.